Greetings. My name is Dr. Bill Wheeler. May 15th, 2025. Thank you for joining me. This is my first actual live cast. And as promised, I said I was going to run for District 1. I am running, and I am going to address as many issues as possible. One issue that came up, I had a District 1 voter in my area send me something on the local newspaper discussing other candidates that have registered to run, etc. And I won't get too much into it because it's not just this one newspaper that is doing this. I have seen multiple newspapers do this in the past. And leading up to the county elections, and I think this is a big problem in a lot of these major towns, is the media is just so bought and paid for and so much against the 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 people that it has just become one big massive psyop. There's no real way to say this, um, other than it is a massive psyop going on. People are being manipulated, and there is more than an abundance of proof. Case in point, May 5th was a registration deadline for candidates. The 5th of May. The close off date was the 9th. So, any sponsoring of registered candidates, any endorsements, anybody mentioning that this candidate here is going to be going against this candidate here, all that prior to the 5th is absolute propaganda. There's no way that you can say that you are a reporter of integrity and not look at this scenario and come to the determination that you are not somehow pushing a narrative. You are not being a fair and biased person. You are manipulating every constituent that is going to you for the purpose of getting actual news. And as somebody who used to rely on news, it is absolutely disgusting that you see the manipulation going on. And to those of you who are just now waking up to this, welcome. I challenge you to look up every candidate that has now filed and registered and look up news articles dating back to almost a year ago that talk about certain candidates running. And for those of you that listen to this that are not in Washington state, at least you have sometimes opposing views. In heavily Democratic areas such as Washington state, they pick candidates that have this same view. They'll call them whatever they want, but you are pinning one ideology against the same ideology. No matter what, they win. This is what socialism looks like. It's our local government is giving the perception of choice. We have no choice. There is no republic. We do not have opposing views here. They have manipulated the media, and the media shows clear bias towards certain candidates. And they only report news when it's beneficial to them. I've been in the news plenty of times. I know how the media works, I know how it operates. I have their MO down to a T. Because when I had issues going on with my company, I was going against the bear, the beast. I was going against every media outlet who was bought and paid for by the city to push propaganda against me because they needed to fit a certain narrative. And when it comes to somebody like me, we never get an honest day in court. That honest day never comes. So when you get yourself into these situations, it really wakes you up when you sit back and you say, I'm going to do the integral thing. I'm going to do what's right and I'm going to fight for my rights and for my democracy. And on one hand, yes, but on the other hand, you need to be smart about it. And you need to realize that the odds are stacked against you. And no matter what happens, just know that the only thing that they can't stop is your voice. And eventually, in some cases, they have been successful in even that. But risk. I'm not coming on here talking to you and making these videos for people in my town to complete some master plan so all my buddies get super rich off of the taxpayers. So just know that you have an obligation to the city in which you live in. And sometimes that obligation comes at a risk. Sometimes for you to preserve the democracy, the republic that you have, and to push forward and to have opposing points of view and to live amongst other constituents and stuff, you need to really push and do your research, because the narrative that's coming from the media it's lies and it's manipulation, and it's unfortunate, and it's kind of changed my optics, because I once was pursuing a career in criminal justice when all those legal issues came at me, and I quickly found out that I was not on the right side of the law as far as it comes to trying to enforce the law and be an active member um, of a local police department. And just to find out that it is that you know you have people pulling strings and completely going against the safety and security of people in this town. So it completely contradicts whatever effort that you're putting into it. And it took a lot of time and soul searching to see exactly where my position is in my city and in my town, and to reach my goals and my objectives, because nothing that happened to me was because I wanted it to happen. It all happened by circumstance. And a lot of this stuff that happened by circumstance was because I was battling against the city. And I could talk more about me later, but right now it's about how do we make Everett a better place, and how do we push forward regardless of who is in that position to make Everett a better place. And as far as the candidacy goes for District 1, I will be the only one that sits up there and says enough is enough. You are not taxing the people in our district anymore, and at least have a voice, someone that stands up and says absolutely not. um, we can't keep just taxing people to death. So that's the unfair advantage, that why some candidates being announced are promoted before filing even happens. You saw it with Mayor Franklin. You saw it with other districts. You saw it with my district. Um, so who makes these decisions, and why aren't voters a part of the process? Well, voters, obviously, that right there is going to answer itself. Voters aren't part of the process because the process doesn't want to involve you. Um, these decisions are made backdoor. This is what's going to happen. Mayor Foos has her guy. She endorses him. She thinks this is a shoe-in. So there's going to be no discussion, because for some reason they think this is already a win-win for them. And my thing is like, how can you be so positive unless if there isn't something in place to get you really thinking that this is a for sure shoe in. Um, you know, I I'm a wild card. They did not intend on me running. That's clear. That is very, very clear. They did not intend on me running. I threw my hat in the ring on registration day, and heads rolled. But you know what? I guess that's what happens when you live in the crappiest district, where you can see that clearly there is a lot of fraudulent things going on with our city because we're paying for services and nothing's getting done. Now this backdoor deal, that tactic, it totally discourages new voices and independent thinkers from entering. I am surprised. I am completely blown away. District 5 has nobody running uncontested. I am sorry, District 5. I love my town. I loved Everett. But if you live in if you live in District 5, talk about um, being so beaten down that you just think taxes are just norm. Like, talk about rolling over like a submissive dog and just pissing on yourself. That's District 5 right now. Why did it go uncontested? Well, it is the heaviest, densely populated area when it comes to assisted housing. For some of you not associated with it, it's the same platform, the same premises of Section 8. So District 5 is like buku into assisted housing, which if you can get the help, get the help. I ain't gonna I'm not going to judge you. They're giving that money away anyways. It may as well be you, right? But yeah, just know that as far as voting for taking my money and giving it to you, that ain't going to happen. Just as people shouldn't be taking your money away from you and make it happen. That doesn't help you. It's not going to help you out of the position you're in, and the state's not going to help you by putting you in this place and just hoping that you die off, which is what they want. You're just their vote. They think if they pay you to live in this little free place that you're just going to keep voting for them. Ballot harvesting's legal. They're knocking on doors. They're having you sign here, take the ballot, and they file it. Maybe that's where the confidence comes in. I mean, we're not dumb. So not only is the early announcements unfair and unbiased, borderline what I think it's election interference. It gives you the illusion of choice. And look, if you are a writer for a paper and you give some song and dance, oh, I wrote this before people finished publishing and blah, 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 you have an obligation to your community to report the facts. And if you don't have all the facts, you shouldn't be putting it in a newspaper. That isn't proper journalism. Okay, that's to me, that's a very rookie mistake to be done with a very established news newspaper. So, moving on, the illusion of choice is what they're giving you. When political insiders select their favorite long before the election, sometimes over a year, are we really voting, or is this just rubber stamping? I mean, let's look at the quiet ways the system is rigging. I mean, look, you got donor backing, early endorsements, insider access to the media. Like, come on, guys. Favoritism, the local power game, favoritism. Certain candidates are given platforms, support, and resources, while others are ignored and marginalized. City departments, community organizers, even local media play favorites. That's a problem for democracy. How many times? This isn't my first rodeo. How many debates do you think I've been in? None. None. You know why I've been in none? There's been debates for my district before. I've been in none of them because I was never invited. And then I get emails telling me, hey, we would like to have voted for you, but you didn't show up. And then they even go as far as saying I've never showed up when they never invited me, didn't tell me when it was, and it was always between the two top picks that they had. Guarantee you, if there's a debate in our district, they will not they will not invite me. They will not invite me. Don't even think they'll probably post something saying that they invited us and we just didn't respond. I mean, hey, people are getting a hold of me just fine here. So, the impact of voters: when voters are repeatedly exposed to one name or face, it creates the illusion that they're the most qualified or popular. Manipulation through repetition is a form of voter conditioning, not democracy. So, who's really pulling the strings? Let's talk about networks influence. Everett, longstanding political family, city employees, and big donors. Who benefits from keeping things the same? Look at where our money's going. Look at whose land is being purchased and where the money's going. Solutions. What can we do? What can we do to fix this? Well, we could demand transparency. Your current city council and mayor won't do it. Push for open debates and equal access to media. Your current mayor and your city council will not do it. Encourage more candidates to run. Not going to happen. Even if the establishment says there's no room, your city council, your mayor will not do it. Support independent voices who are afraid to challenge the system. Absolutely not going to happen. Not only is our mayor insanely overpaid for the position and completely detached from reality, but that $2,500 to run is a hard pill to swallow. And you're trying to tell me go get signatures to offset the cost of running for office? Complete BS, absolute BS. So I think the way we get around is we just honestly have to push, and honestly, platforms like X, YouTube, whatever platform you can think of, if you can take it, post it, share it, get out there next door, spread the word, let people know that you have these other people who really want to do good in the community and are pushing and making videos like this and trying to talk to people, trying to reach people. Um, that's going to be the future, because people are catching on quick that the media is lying to you. They are lying. And, um, and in closing, this really isn't about party politics. It's not about left, right. This is all about fairness, truth, and real representation. We need to stop letting a handful of people control our choices. It's time to shine a light on the process, expose the favoritism, and empower voters to decide for outsiders and small niche groups to get these objectives and to stay in positions of power so they can literally lord over us. And that is exactly what has been going on in Everett for a very, very long time. So that's all I have for today. Today is May 15th, 2025. I look forward to doing another live stream again. Hopefully, as things go on, it will get better. So my website, uh, takebackyourtown.com. We have swag merchandise on there. That's part of the web store. It's a small markup on there. Honestly, it's just kind of a cool logo. So that's why I even made it. And there are cooler ones on there, but I'm been having problems with it here and there. Um, I got this YouTube channel. I have my X platform where I also post these videos and share them. And I just want to get the word out. I just want to get the word out, and I want to do what's best for our city. And the best thing that can be done for our city is if we get some people in there who are not politics and who just don't give a damn. Um, Look, just like everybody else in this town, the great majority of them, I work as a regular job, and I would still work my regular job. These positions, such as city council, were never meant to be a permanent one uh, job that somebody goes into and supports their family, and just does nothing but city council. There is, even our mayor, the intent of the mayor's pay and salary was to keep them afloat, but in a realm particularly um, close to what the other constituents in the area make. $250,000 for one person is insane to me. I don't care who you are. And for somebody that's just running the town to the ground, I would expect a whole lot better. I would expect a whole lot more criticism from the city council members we have now, which just doesn't happen at all, unless if it's personal stuff that nobody gives a damn about. To me, that is all a distraction. So I really do appreciate people taking the time. I know this was done at a whim. I'm still learning YouTube Live, so this is going to be more or less just a recorded video for people to look at. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that. So, like I said, vote for me. I have corrugated signs. People can message me, reach me by phone, text. I can go and put them wherever you want. I'll have them soon, hopefully tomorrow. You'll start seeing my name out there. Vote for Bill Wheeler. We're going to make this happen. And if we don't make it happen, I'm still going to keep pushing and I'm still going to keep campaigning every freaking day until we reach enough people and wake them up. Because eventually, what's going to happen is the fraud is going to get so out of control that people are going to have no choice. And unfortunately, I believe we've reached the Rubicon. I believe we've passed the inevitable cliff of no turning back. This is it. What are the next 4 years going to look like? Disaster, because none of the current administration policies are getting through. Washington is so blue that they are holding on to an ideology that is dead, and it is completely not a populist view. People are tired. They work all day like myself, and they don't want to deal with the crap. So hopefully people see through the BS. Hopefully we have enough people that get motivated, and really getting motivated is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people motivated, trying to push through the fraud, trying to push through the media, pushing through the Everett Heralds and the Tribunes and the local newspapers that act like they're the authoritative one all that determines who our candidates are. And it's a real travesty that that's where we are. But what I can promise is if you get somebody like me and I'm in city council, I'm voting no on taxes. I'm voting to get rid of stupid projects that waste money. And I will keep acting like every day is a campaign, and I will always have my door open. And a lot of people will criticize, well, why don't you go to council meetings? Why don't you stand up? Why don't you say things? I've done it before. And here's the problem. Their minds up there are already made up. Right now, what you see on that council is just a dog and pony show. This is almost like back in the days, you have the Romans up there, they're ruling, lording over us, and it's just a coliseum, and they already made their decisions, and they're just listening to us peasants grieve, and we're going up there and saying, blah, 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 this is what we want. Their minds are made up. They've already in their mind, they've already penned, the ink is still wet. They've already said they're raising tax. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're already doing it. There's no proposal. There's no proposal. They're doing it. The proposal is you getting up there saying what you got to say, and then them just rubber stamping it. That's them listening, and I want to change that. I don't like seeing when I last time I was there, I saw an old man come in. He didn't know what to do. He wasn't familiar with the process. The lady told him what to do it, and he looked confused. He's like, I don't understand. And he told the lady at the counter, I don't understand. Well, she's like, well, just have a seat. We'll get you up there and talk. And he sat through the entire meeting, and they knew it. And people on the council saw him there and saw the problem he had, and not one of them had any ounce of any kind of integrity and let this old man come up and air his grievance. And that to me was a huge travesty. That was a wake up call. And that was the last time I went in there, because I knew then that I knew before I even went, but seeing it in person with your own eyes is a total wake up call. So don't think that these people are going to be there for you. They're not. So thanks for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Spread the videos, spread the love, let people know that this guy's got your back. Um, you know, feel free, look at whatever you want. You have questions, ask me. My life's an open book. Am I perfect? No. Am I? No. I got skeletons in my closet. But you know what? So does everybody else. And mine are aired out. So, you know, I disagree with what skeletons they are claiming I got. I will never let that down. And yeah, I'll still fight that battle on many different fronts. Discussion for another day, but we got to pull together. And you know, I was hoping that somebody would have thrown their hat in the ring. That was hardcore. And when I saw that wasn't going to happen, that's when I jumped in. Um, and the last couple times I did it, I was throttled back. There were things I wanted to say, and you know, I was told by people in my inner circle to kind of like mellow out. You gotta make tone it down, and you gotta give people warm and fillies and all this stuff. And this time around, yeah, my name's Chuck because I don't care. This is a new game. This is a new day. This is a new style. Um, this is me not pretending to be a an understanding person of things that just shouldn't be understand. Nuts is nuts, and I'm not gonna sit here and cuck to crazy and try to be understanding because that time's over. Because the loonies are running shit, and now we have a problem. Now we have a huge problem where we have people that should be locked up in a nut house running things. So, you know, how do we fix that? We got to spread the word, and we definitely got to get out and vote. And you know, like they say, too big to rig. We got to get a lot of people out there because I don't know about those that listen, but I'm thoroughly convinced. You know, I'm my gut is telling me that the amount of rampant fraud in Washington State is way worse than we ever could imagine because they are clamoring so hard to a false narrative that there isn't any kind of fraud going on, that the amount is making me think that it's astronomical. But I just got a notification, battery's getting low. So God bless. Thank you. Spread the video. Vote for Bill Wheeler. Have a good night.